there, this is Architect Daryl from Hacienda Gracia Dream Life. Today we'll be sharing to you about our roof deck gardens. This is how we propagate our herbs. First we harvest and then take the leaves, and then the stems we just put in a glass with water. And then maybe after a week it will grow roots, and then it's ready to plant. So now I have leaf cuttings for basil, apple mint, double mint, dill, and Italian oregano. So this is in our toilet. We just put it in the sink so that it's easier to put water in it, and then change the water every day. Make sure that it is clean and has no mosquito larvae, and then just change the water daily, and in less than a week it will grow roots and you can already transplant it to the soil. So that's how we propagate our herbs. Even if we only have like one pot for each herb, we propagate it this way to multiply it, and then also to have a backup stock of plants in case one plant died. So always have a backup plant in a different location than your original mother plants. And of course, when you harvest, make sure to use the leaves from your harvest, like this one. So we harvested the leaves for the double mint to put in our tea or green smoothie, and then the stems you save so that you can plant it again. That way you will never run out of plants or seedlings for your herbs. As for herbs, the more you harvest, the better for the herbs, because it will grow bushier as you harvest. And never let your herbs flower, because once it flowers it will die. So always harvest. Don't worry that it will look bald. Just harvest as much as you can every week so that your herb will also continue to grow. For herbs, the more you harvest, the better it will be for the plant. So never let it flower. That's it. It's very easy. Inday, nagunsa ka? So these are oregano plants. We harvested them from the garden. This one from our container garden, like that. And we are collecting the leaves to feed the rabbits, and then the stems as planting material in the farm. So we're propagating this because oregano is very good for cough. It has a lot of health benefits, and then the rabbits also love to eat them, especially when they have like cough or runny nose. This is our go-to medicine. So natural medicine only for our pets. By the way, not only the rabbits, but we're also feeding the leaves of this one for the chickens, for the ducks. So it's a very multi-purpose plant. You can also use this in your drink as a hot tea or in your juices. So it has a very distinct taste, and it's very good for your cough and other host of illnesses that can be readily available for you. So just grow this plant, and you not only have food, you also have medicine. And remember, it is growing here on our vertical garden, so it's a very small space. But we have these pet bottles that are already 10 years old. Imagine them going to the landfill, but instead we're using them as a medium to grow plants. So let's recycle more of our plastics so that we can help the environment. So that's our vertical garden all the way to the gate. and we're growing a lot of food with just a very small space. So even in your fence or in your walls, you can grow food and medicine. So just collect, harvest, and then some we also ferment as treatment for cough. So we are prolific with our propagation of plants. So even if we only have one pot of plant for each type, we just propagate them as we go. This one is our very prolific tambis tree. We purposely planted them on the ground floor and allowed it to go to the second floor before we built our second floor balcony, so that it's very easy to harvest. So you're sitting by the balcony and then you can just get the fruits. Now this tambis tree is fully organic, so we do not apply chemicals or fertilizers to this one, but you can see that it's very prolific. It fruits all year round and it fruits non-stop. So we just harvested another batch from the previous month, and now it's also loaded with flowers again, ready for the next fruiting. Main fertilizer for this one is rabbit manure and chicken manure. That's it. No chemicals added. So this is our mulberry. From the second floor also, you can harvest from it directly. So this is the view from our roof deck garden. In the roof deck garden, we have a collection of dragon fruits and cactus and succulents. So this one is the sunset view. We can see the mountains of Cebu from here. And that one lone, very tall Indian tree we planted when we moved in here like 12 years ago. Now it's around 5 stories tall. And we do not cut it because we don't want it to spread out. We want it to be like just one tall tree. So it's very relaxing to watch the sunset or the sunrise from the roof deck. Now that is our water tank from the deep well and rainwater collection system. Also looking down our passion fruit canopy. We love the passion fruit, and aside from that, we also use the leaves for our rabbit feed. So this one is just from one passion fruit vine, and it has grown all over the ground floor of the garden in our canopies. So that's our house. The roofing is one side going one slope because we are collecting all our rainwater in one tank. So the ongoing construction is an extension of the bedrooms for our children. So our garden is full of trees from all the perimeters. We even have coconut, guavas, lychee, avocado, mango, and a whole lot more. We are planting here through a permaculture inspired garden. So now let us check out my succulent harvest. I'm trying to propagate more succulents for Hacienda Gracia, and this is my collection of cactus and succulents in the roof deck garden. Some of them are all of them are just grown from neglect. We just plant them and then we never really water them anymore. We just wait for the rain to water it. So you will notice that some of the succulents are reddish. They look beautiful, but that means that they are stressed. But we found out that even if we don't water them, they still thrive beautifully. Propagating cactus and succulents is fairly easy. You just pick and then plant, and we don't really have that specific technique on doing it. I just cut it and then I just plant it. And the soil medium that we use is just our regular soil, and then we just add rabbit manure, rice hull, and maybe some grass clippings. All of these are the survivors. Actually, we have other types of cactus and succulents, but they have all died with neglect. But all of these that were left are the ones that are resilient enough to survive without intervention in the roof deck. So even if you only have one plant, you can always like propagate them through time. For us, we are very prolific in our propagation. So every time we regularly really cut our plants or propagate our plants, so that whatever happens, we'll always have like a backup plant somewhere. It's also very useful for sharing, because a lot of people will say that they'll ask for some cuttings or these plants. So we propagate them for easy gift giving, and sometimes barter. This is from my 30-minute collecting the cuttings for propagation. So I think I have more than 100 here from the mother plants that were placed all around all around. We have a total of 2,500 pots of cactus and succulents in this garden alone. So going around, we have cactus and succulents on the hanging pots, and then we also have a fruit tree collection in blue drums. So this is the view from here. The sunset will always be, sunsets and sunrises will always be one of my favorite views, no matter where we are. So this is me as I collect cuttings and for propagation of our cactus and succulents. To also do some watering here of the fruit trees that we are growing in the middle of the roof deck. So this process of collecting for propagation takes around 30 minutes, and then the planting may be also 30 minutes. But so this is what we do during the weekend, Sunday late afternoon. So you can see some of the pots are already empty and dead, and some are really very stressed, but when the rain comes, these cactus and succulents just sprout back to life. So we want to keep the species or the types of plants here in the roof deck that can withstand even if we don't go and take care of them. So these are the most hardy of our cactus and succulent collection. So this one, I don't know, it grew from our rainwater collection tank. So what we do here whenever we have the time to water is that we use water that we added organic fertilizers. So for example, drippings from our vermiculture tank, or rabbit manure or chicken manure. So that's just it, and maybe we do it every 6 months only. So these beautiful cactus and succulents are growing on their own, but they are those that survived and remained are also very beautiful, as they are really grown as wild and as natural as possible. So we're trying to mimic the desert here, so that's why we are growing them as if they are on their own. In the middle of the roof deck are our fruit tree collection in blue drums, and then on the perimeter our dragon fruit collection also. So this one is tisa. Then we also have jackfruit, mango. Next is a chico. Then tambis or makopa. We have a criollo variety of cacao. Then purple guava, but it's infested with aphids, so I need to do something. This one is pomelo, and then this one is, I don't know, I lost the tag, atis, and then avocado. Then we have iba, and this one is, I think, a purple atis, and then sweet tamarind, and then something I cannot identify because I lost the tag. And then here in the perimeter are the cactus and succulents, and also our dragon fruit collection. So we have around 50 varieties of dragon fruit here. We have the black ones, yellow, pink, white, red, and a whole lot more combination of colors for the dragon fruit with different flavors. So this is me. I'm watering the balcony garden on the second floor. We're using a hose to water it, and then we usually water the hanging plants maybe 3 times a week. The plants on the hanging pots usually dry up easily because they don't have like a storage for water. So a regular watering is really required if you have like hanging pots in your gardens, because even if it rains, the water will always like easily dry up because they are hung. You can see you have the tambis tree growing through the second floor balcony on our left side, and on the right side is our blue ternate vines, also planted in pots. On the railings, we're also growing our mint plants. So we have this pots that is easily hang on the railing, on top of the railing. So our double mints are growing really well here. Here in this episode, we want to show you that even if you have like a limited space in your house or in your condo or apartment, you can still garden and maximize your space by growing on the walls, on your railings, on your balconies, and doing multi-level gardening on the ground and then on the walls. And you have different levels of your plants, from trees to herbs to vegetables. You can pack a lot of plants in even 1 square meter of space, because on the 1 square meter you plant on the 1 square meter, then you can do a multi-layer on that area. Saan aabot ang 1,000 pesos mo? Tcharam! More. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel